How are your thoughts going these days? You get drafted, and then now you're getting ready for Super Bowl.
Thoughts on Super Regionals. You know, I'm dedicated to this team until the season's over with. So, you know, then I'll figure out the rest later. But as of right now, we're looking forward to South Carolina coming in.
What do you think about another matchup with those guys who y'all had a good series with here?
I think it'll be a lot of fun. You know, they're an extremely good team. They played really well down the stretch. So it'll be a good weekend.
They were the last team and the only SEC team to beat you guys here. What do you remember about that? That 3-2 game, you pitched real well, and it just seemed like Arkansas couldn't get a timely hit with the bases loaded.
Baseball happened that game. You know, I mean, that's just it. I mean, they played very well that game. I thought we played pretty well that game, except for, you know, a timely hit here or there. You know, so I mean, it happens and it is what it is. But I mean, I don't expect that to happen this weekend.
Were you tracking the draft, or did you just wait for somebody to call you, or how did you find out you've been picked?
No, I drove back home on whatever day it was, Sunday, I think, and spent down there in Bryant and just hung out with them. And we're keeping up with it. I wasn't trying to watch it a whole lot. I was just trying to just relax and just enjoy it.
You were picked really high, but were you surprised it wasn't a little bit higher? And I think there was 5 SEC pitchers that you guys beat that went ahead of you. I know they don't necessarily draft on that, but did that surprise you a little bit, or is that motivating? Or
nothing surprised me with the draft. You know, the draft I've done it for 2 years now, and it's a crazy thing. You know, when those picks start flying off the board, weird stuff happens. People get picked where they're not supposed to, or higher than they were supposed to, or whatever. So, you know, nothing surprised me with it. But I'm happy with where Baltimore took me, and I'm glad they're giving me the opportunity to continue my career.
Distracted at all? I mean, you're in the middle of regionals and super regionals to have a draft going on.
I think it distracts you if you allow it to distract you. That's what I think. I'm not distracted. I know the other guys aren't either. You know, we're focused on what's fixing to come up this weekend. We'll worry about the rest later on.
What about their lineup? Just kind of what do you remember South Carolina?
They can hit. You know, I mean, they're another very good SEC school. They got a lot of talent. You know, they got Cortez and all those guys. So I mean, they can hit, and I think they're going to come out giving us our best shot.
I guess there's 6 SEC teams left, and they're all playing each other. And so there's obviously going to be 3 SEC teams going to Omaha. What are your thoughts about how the SEC is doing in the super regions?
They're loaded. You know, I mean, that's what I've said all year long. That's what coaches said all year long. This league's loaded, and it doesn't shock me to see how it is right now. So we'll see who rises to the top, and we'll see who gets to Omaha.
What do you think the work Jake Ryan put in for you guys on Sunday?
Oh, that was huge. You know, Zay didn't have it that day. You know, and that's part of it. And you know, we needed Rondell to step up, and he stepped up big time for us. Gave us 7 innings and gave us a chance to win.
Yeah, David Van Horn was saying the other day there were times during the year he pulled you out maybe earlier than he could have, and he'd say, "Hey man, I feel okay, I can still pitch." And he says, "No, we're saving you for later."
Mm-hmm.
Meaning obviously this postseason. In retrospect, do you look back and think what he did was pretty smart?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, this whole year, I mean, once you get done with a full year, especially going into a postseason like this, I mean, everybody's extremely tired, and whether they want to say it or not. And you know, I think saving those innings for later on down the road has helped me out a ton. It helped me out in earlier weeks and just a couple weeks ago, and it's helping me out now. So I think I didn't want to come out, but you know, I respected his decision, and it's paying off so far.
Blaine, you talked about how Isaiah just didn't have his stuff on Sunday. How did he act when he got back into the dugout? And then maybe did you have a message for him at all to kind of just, you know, let it shake it off and don't worry about it?
I didn't really say a whole lot to him. None of us really did. I mean, he knows. He's a mature guy, and he's a mature pitcher. You know, he just didn't have it, you know. And, I mean, he came back in, and, of course, he was disappointed in it and everything else. But, I mean, he got right back up, and he did what he was supposed to, you know, help the rest of the team win some way, somehow, whether that's picking signs or whatever. So that's what he did. And Zay's going to be fine. I'm not worried about Zay at all.
Dave said that he doesn't mind giving him the ball again. It just was one of those days. And so, you know, do you think he's a resilient kid? And, you know, you've got confidence in him?
Yeah, I have full confidence in Isaiah. He's going to be just fine. Like, it was one of those days. It happens. You know, we all run into it every now and then, and he'll be just fine. I'm not worried about him, and I'm sure he will get the ball again this weekend.
You're the first of many Razorbacks who've been drafted. Just what do you think that says about the team?
It's a solid program and a solid team, you know, and the coaches prepare us in the best way they can. And, you know, I mean, it showed so far in the draft this year and previous drafts, you know. I mean, these coaches are one of a kind. And, you know, they prepare us and get us ready.
What do you thought about Jared Gates? He's having another big postseason just like he did last year. Seems like he turns into Babe Ruth whenever the postseason comes around.
Mr. June, I'm telling you. Now he's Jared, he's a level-headed guy. You know, he's an experienced guy. He's older. You know, he just, I mean, people have different times they step up and do good stuff. You know, it just depends on the person, what the situation is. And so far in the past 2 postseasons, he's done it. You know, and I hope he keeps it up because he's been big for us so far.
And it's really, he's had some big hits, obviously, but he's also had some pretty nice defensive plays too. What do you thought about his all-around game?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's an athlete. You know, I mean, he didn't come in as a first baseman. He came in as third baseman that was pretty athletic. You know, and I remember in the fall when he first came in last year. You know, I thought he was an extremely good fielder. You know, he could hit, he could move pretty well, and so I mean, putting him at first base is just putting a really athletic guy over there that can field and do it all. And you know, he's saved some throws, saved Cronin's pickoff over there the other night, and made some very good plays down the line. It saved a couple of extra base runners and stuff. So I mean, he's been huge for us.
What does it feel like to be, you know, on the verge of